On the Block with Hala, Maroc. Hey guys. Okay, so we're working on season 2 for Badass Boot Camp. And you know, every month leading up to March of 2018, we are doing an honorary badass interview. And today is Miss Joy Marie. Please tell us about your journey and where we can follow you.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
No problem.
But yeah, so I'm a journalist. I work at ABC News right now, covering entertainment and lifestyle news. Yes. And I just really love what I do. I love telling people stories, whether it's like a celebrity or like your mother, whomever.
Your own.
My own, right? So I wrote a book earlier this year. I can't even believe it, but I wrote my first memoir called The Engagement Game that talks about my relationship. And yeah, I'm just still telling stories. Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about what the engagement game actually is, right? But first I want them to know, because I actually sat in on one of your interviews, so we're not going to pretend like I don't know, but...
Yes, you did. You were very helpful. I was like, oh, you were laughing at all my jokes.
You were funny that day.
Thank you so much.
You had a good aura. That's actually why I had to ask you to come here.
Nice.
You know, you're a badass yourself.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell me. Your journey as a author is a little bit different than a lot of people.
Right.
You know, you ask an author who's been in the game for a little while, and they say that it takes them a few tries to even find an agent, get it published. This just happened for you.
Yeah, this just happened, and I always say, like, this was just sort of really meant to be, because not that I didn't try. I had book ideas for about 10 years. I was like, I know I want to write a book. And about 10 years ago, I had written about 200 pages of a book. And
this one, or just something else?
It was a different book. It was actually called Books Come Before Boys, even in the dictionary.
Okay.
Because it was about my dating life still in college. But my Girl Scout teacher would always tell me, Joy, books come before boys. And I'd be like, I don't want to hear that. That's cute. That sounds exciting. I don't care. So I was writing a book about, you know, dating in college, and I thought that would be cute. I wrote 200 pages of it on a flash disk, and of course, because that was back in the day when people used flash disks, and it broke in the computer. So I took it as a sign that, like, this is not the book that I'm supposed to write. And so fast forward.
After the meltdown.
Yes, I had to just let it go. I was very pissed. I remember I was in St. Louis, Missouri in a hotel room pissed. And then I just...
So random.
Yeah.
You're from Harlem.
Don't ask me why I was in it, but yeah, I was at a conference.
Okay.
So then, like, I just, you know, but I would always ask writers. Like, I asked Mara Braca-Kill. She wrote Girlfriends. She wrote all these amazing shows that we watch on television. And so I would ask her what her process was. I asked other authors what their process was. And eventually, I journal as a practice. And so eventually I was journaling one day, and something just came out of me that was like so amazing. And you know, you're a creator, so you know when like you get something that's like, oh, this is...
You feel it.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I did something here.
Yeah.
And just send it to an editor, and that editor was like, yeah, we want to buy it. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I don't have an agent, nothing. And so I just always say, like, God really wanted me to tell this story, because it does not happen like that.
Okay, so that story being The Engagement Game. So tell me what The Engagement Game is.
Yes, so The Engagement Game is actually a real life game that was passed down to me from my sister, my older sister, who's happily married. And I was in a 5-year relationship, very frustrated in this relationship, because we had spoken about marriage, we had spoken about what our kids would look like, and that was at year 2. Yeah, that was at year 2, and now it's year 5, and I'm like, where's my ring? Like, what am I doing? And so I'm like, okay, Jasmine, that's my older sister. I'm like, well, what did you do? Because clearly I'm doing something wrong, and I'm not, like, And so she's like, well, play the engagement game. And I'm like, well, what is that? And so the first step of the game was make a list of what you want in a husband. And I'm like, I don't need to do that. He is my husband. And she's like, no, Joy, like, make a list of what you want. Like, you really need to, like, figure out what you want aside from him. And so the book really details that whole hilarious sort of Alice in Wonderland type of experience, because I did a lot of crazy things, including trying to cook engagement chicken.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. I haven't tried it yet.
Okay. Child, it was I barely tried it myself. And so I did all these crazy things, and of course we break up, because when you try, I think when you push too hard at something, yeah, like it's not gonna work. But eventually he did come back and say, I'm ready. So it kind of does, the engagement game does work. So he came back. He said, I'm ready to get engaged and propose to you. I've saved up my ring money, all these things. But I realized I wasn't ready. And so the book really encourages women that as much as we want our mates or our partners to be ready, like, are you ready? Like, have you turned the lens around to look at yourself and evaluate some things that you might need to get your life together before you make that big step. So.
And you documented all this. You journal. You said.
Yes, I journal.
How often do you journal?
Yeah, lately I've been super bad. I've been so bad. But before, I would journal every single day. It was like cathartic for me. And, you know, your journal doesn't judge you. I can, you know, curse and, you know, just be my real self when I'm just writing. So I would do it every single day, especially when I was younger as a college student, which is why I wanted to write that book. Like, my college escapades were ridiculous. And I hope maybe that.
I know, girl. I just be like, where are the cameras? Like, I have to, this has to be like some type of reality show sometimes.
And I went to college and there was like, Facebook had just started.
Right.
I'm just really,
so it's good that you.
I'm so glad it wasn't like on our campus.
To keep track at least, you know, without all those eyes.
Yes, exactly.
And followers.
Yes. But yeah, it was, yeah. So yeah. One day maybe that will be a book, but not
Do you think Cardi B cooked engagement chicken for Offset?
Probably not. I don't know what Cardi did, and I need her to explain, because she seems like a woman who speaks her mind. I love Cardi B. She probably was like, Offset, you gonna put a ring on this or what? And he probably was like, you know, I really feel like that's why she had that meltdown on her Snap. Do you remember she like cursed him on the Snap? Like, I feel like that has something to do with it. But I can't prove it.
You don't, I mean, maybe. She said it was for a purple blanket. That sounds like a more valid story, what you're talking about. So,
well, Cardi, you don't know, Cardi. But I would love to hear like how they talked about it, because clearly, like, you don't put that much money down on a ring for, I mean, I would hope, for a flippant decision.
Yeah, I mean, now they're about to come up too, because they got bought up for a show.
Oh, did they? Oh, I didn't hear this.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
It's gonna be called Never Let Me Go.
That is not.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm about to say no. I saw that viral tweet. I saw that viral tweet.
I'm so kidding.
But I would watch that.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
That was a winning formula right there.
Yeah.
So, okay, so speaking of crazy couples, the day that we met, you went on and interviewed the Ethiopian prince and the wife you met at the DC club.
Yes.
What you talking about? Did she have any juice?
No. You know what? No, she was so sweet, and actually we have mutual friends. So her wedding planner is like one of my good friends.
Wow.
And I was trying to get her the juice, like, so how much did they spend? You know, and she wouldn't tell me. She's a super professional, but honestly, I was shocked because I have been in that club. I've literally partied in that club, and I did not meet nobody. So I don't know, but I just think it's the luck of the draw. And she was so sweet, so kind, and I can tell like. Any man would be smart to
would have been happy
down.
to.
Yeah, she was so sweet and so nice. And actually, they were both sweet and very gracious. And you know, they're very particular. He's a prince, and so they were like, "Oh, can you not use this photo?" And but they were just so gracious throughout the entire process.
I love that.
Yeah, I wish them the best of luck.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So we've talked about a few crazy couples and your crazy, vague but crazy college stories. So why don't you tell us about one of your juiciest love-scapades? I'm calling them a love-scapade that you've journaled about.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell one that I read about in the book.
Okay.
And it is with. Actually, I've never told this story aloud. You know, you're like. Some people, I am more comfortable writing my stories
I'm like
than
that
telling
too.
them. But there's this one singer that I write about dating in the book, and he is background singer for people that you would know.
Okay.
That you on the radio, R&B stars, and so I'm not going to name them because then I will kind of call them out. But we met in Istanbul.
Oh,
yes, so random. So we were, girl, I got to get out. So we were partying in this club in Reyna in Istanbul. And in Istanbul, there's not that many black people. So we see these black guys, you know, who look like us, look like Americans. And we're like, what are you doing here? And they're like, well, what are you doing here? And so we ended up partying together that night. I just so happened to lose my passport in the club. I don't know why I have don't ask me why I have my passport.
You probably didn't have your ID, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just a dumb decision that I regret. So I lose my passport in the club, but we get their numbers. And so the next day he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, it's a bad day. Like, I'm trying to find my passport in this club because we've been back to the club during the day trying to find it. And long story short, I get stuck in Istanbul because it's a holiday. We went around Labor Day. It's a holiday. And so, of course, the embassy's closed. Like I can't go anywhere for like 2 more days. Thank God I have a random friend who lives there. She lives there, so she let me stay on her. She has a guest bedroom. It was very fancy. So thank God I didn't have to spend any more money. I didn't lose my credit card, so I still had like everything. So I was able to get 2 more days in Istanbul and meet this guy. And when we got back home, it was just such a great story. He remembered me, obviously, and he was giving me advice because he had lost his passport on tour. And we began dating, and backstage at concerts and fun stuff. And everyone has been trying to guess like who he is, and no one's gotten it yet. So
that's why I was gonna say let me guess, but I'm just like, I don't even know who could possibly.
I'll just say
I don't peg you for like like dating an artist.
No,
like,
me either. Actually, I really love artists. I love creative people. I'm a very like left brain creative person, but I will never do it again.
Okay.
I mean, it's
fair enough.
My boyfriend now, he's so right brained. I mean, he sings as well.
You need like the yin to the yang.
I need like a right brain. Let's get it together, because he and I were like fire and fire.
Yeah.
We were going to kill each other.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing that again.
So instead, besides the engagement chicken and all these crazy stories, what else do you want people to get out of this book?
Yeah, first, the number one thing I want people to get out of this book is that, for me, I shapeshifted in all of my relationships. I have faults, and we all have to deal with each other's mess. And it's like, what type of mess do you want to deal with? And for me, and that's why I always encourage the message for this book is really turn the lens around. Like, stop judging, looking at other people. What are you doing that you need help on? How can you really improve yourself? And once I really did that, like for me, I was cursing so much. I had never cursed before, but I was so frustrated in my relationship that I just started cursing so much. And once I said, okay, I'm gonna work on myself, I found my boyfriend just came to me. I didn't have to go looking for him. I didn't have to search for love or anything like that. It's just like, once you start, fostering your passions, finding your light, the universe really conspires to give you what you want. I really believe that.
Connect the dots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next? As an author and everything, would you do the TV route? I know you're surrounded with TV work.
I am. I don't know. TV seems so limiting to me. If there is a possibility,
like writing shows or something.
Yeah, like if I could set the tone for a project, absolutely. But like a talking head on TV where other people write the scripts, and that doesn't seem. No, I don't think I could. No, it'd just be useless. But if I could write and tell stories through that medium, I would love to. I don't know how soon that would be. I love news, and I love New York, and that's like such a LA thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm
Other
open.
books?
Yeah, definitely more books. I'm doing some research now for a book idea, so I'm in the research, reading, study phase of that. Yeah.
So, we're all always going to be going through the motions, right? It's never going to stop, especially when you're on this career journey, love journey, all this stuff. But what advice would you give to your younger self?
That's a great question. I would tell my younger self to chill out. Like I'm still so high strung. I worry about everything. I'm always like, what's the worst case scenario? Like I'm just always trying to prepare myself for that, because change is hard for me.
Yeah.
And I know that about myself. So I would just be like, yo, chill out. I would probably be like, chill the F out. Like just calm down, because I'm always thinking of what's the worst that could happen, instead of trying to just enjoy the now of it. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay. And finally, what makes you a badass?
Like smack a little bit. Let me see. What makes me a badass? I don't know. I just at this point, now that I'm 32, I just don't care. I'm falling more in love with myself and doing me and at my pace, and I'm not in the comparison game. And not caring doesn't mean that I don't have compassion, or I'm not passionate about what I'm doing.
Or you're complacent.
Yeah, exactly. But not caring about what other people think, not caring about what society thinks, not caring about what your mama thinks. Like, I'm doing me, and it feels great. Yeah.
So there you go. Make sure you guys follow at The Badass Bootcamp. I'm Hala Maroc, and you can follow Joy at
joymarie.com. That's my website. You can find all of my things there. On Twitter, I'm DC Fab, because, that's where I'm from.
Bye.